Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Adi Achin. Today I'm here to talk about a very audacious and daring raid that some of our Indian Air Force pilots had taken up in the war of 1965 against Pakistan, flying their Canberras almost 1200 kilometers right from their base just to attack a target in the formidable base of Pakistan. They had undertaken this mission flying at very low levels in the dead of night, navigating just with moonlight. Remember, in those days the navigation equipment was very primitive. These guys had to attack a base for which the route was covered with anti-aircraft defenses of the Pakistanis, and as a matter of fact crossing some big airfields as well as radar stations of the Pakistanis as well. You may ask, which was the base that they were trying to attack? Well, the name of the area and the airbase was the Pakistan Air Force Station of Peshawar. A little background about this raid. What had happened was, because of the incessant attacks on the airfields close to the border, for example Sargodha and many others, by the Indian Air Force on the Pakistanis using the Hunters and the Mysteer aircraft, the Pakistanis had got scared and pushed most of their fighter strength, which was the 104 Starfighter, the mainstream of the Pakistani Air Force at that particular point of time, as well as their squadrons of Martin B-57 Canberras, which were provided to them from the United States, to Peshawar, fearing an Indian attack. And in their mind they had thought that Peshawar, being so far away and on the route having so much of air defense, would be difficult for the Indian Air Force to reach. Yet as night fell on the September 13th, 1965, 8 Canberras of number 5 Squadron dropped their bombs on target and destroyed most of the infrastructure as well as damaged many aircraft of the Pakistanis standing on the ground. Talking a bit about the opposition that this Canberra party or this raid team faced for that night. The Pakistanis had been literally gifted on a platter F-104 Starfighters, a supersonic interceptor, one of the best at that particular point of time, along with AIM-9B Sidewinder missiles, which, mind you, have night locking capabilities. This capability of the Pakistanis, coupled with some of the best radar systems of the time and anti-aircraft defenses, made this raid for the Canberra pilots close to a suicidal mission. They still undertook it bravely, gallantly, and completed the mission without a single loss. As luck might have it, on the September of 13th, when they arrived, fully loaded mind you, at the base of Chandigarh where they had to take off from, an incident took place. Originally there were supposed to be 10 aircraft with one as standby, which was number 10. Now what had happened was, after the whole party landed down, it was the chance of number 10 to come down. He overshot the runway, touched down more than halfway through the runway, and of course, as some of you might be aware, the rest of the runway which was left was not enough for him to slow down. He applied his brakes a little too hard, of course, and his undercarriage collapsed. He was loaded with bombs at that particular point of time. Thankfully, there was no fire, no incident. The pilot and the navigator could come out of it, but the aircraft skidded off the runway and was stuck at the end of that area. A little about the briefing. A short while before takeoff, they were all brought into the crew room along with senior officers. They were told that they would fly at about 20,000 feet, use their blind bombing radar to track the target and hit it. They were also told that everyone was aware of the risks involved, and the risk at that point of time was acceptable during the time of the war. They were also told that they must not discuss anything that happens in the briefing as well as the target to anyone outside the crew room, as secrecy was utmost for this attack. They were given an opportunity to pick their crews, but told that the target will remain static. There were some reactions from the pilot after listening to this briefing. One of them excitedly said, "Hurrah!" The second one, of course, knowing the risks involved, said, "Oh no." The third one studied the area off a little bit, said, "Impossible." Going further with the discussion during the briefing, some of the crew had a little bit of a reservation with regards how they were supposed to go towards the target. They asked for an hour, thought about it, discussed it with the entire team, and came back with this plan. Here is how they were supposed to do this mission. They were supposed to take off from this area here, which is Chandigarh, fly across to the international border, And mind you, at that point of time, they were supposed to duck down to 100 feet. When I say 100 feet, please keep in mind this is at the dead of night and some trees are taller than 100 feet. They were supposed to cross the Sialkot sector, go over Wazirabad, take a left turn to this place called Khushab, which was very close to the Sargodha airfield. Then go north to this area of Attock. At that point of time, it was called Campbellpore. Turn left towards the town of Kohat and follow down this Kohat-Peshawar road and hit the target from the south. This would have been the road that they would have followed right down to the city of Peshawar. I'd like to show you the target that they were planning to hit. There we go. That's the runway right there. And they would have approached it from the south. Of course, I'm sure you can see all this military setup right here, which are the bomb-proof aircraft shelters which they've constructed recently, and they would have hit the target starting from the 3-5 side of the runway, which is right here. The return leg after attacking Peshawar, they were supposed to come across, crossing Abbottabad, getting back inside the Indian border, crossing Srinagar and flying south onto Chandigarh. They said the minute they enter the border of Pakistan, they would fly down to 100 feet, no higher. Once they were on the target, they were told 1 minute before time on target, they were supposed to pull up to about 4,000 feet, check their bomb sites, hit the target in one go. There were no second rounds that were supposed to be made. They were also told and aware of the fact that once the Canberra is about 8,000 pounds lighter, which was the load of the bombs, it will become a little more maneuverable. They were told after that, in simple words as I quote, "Get out like hell." They were supposed to hit, as I mentioned, the area of Srinagar, fly down and land at Chandigarh itself. Remember, at that point of time, the war was in full swing. There was a lot of chances that the Pakistanis would have been also planning a counter-attack. That was not known by the Indian Air Force at that time of the briefing. One may ask, why did they straight fly over to Peshawar? Or if you can see on the map, you can draw a straight line from Chandigarh to Peshawar. Why take all these left turns and right turns? Well, this was done because after a study done by the photo reconnaissance Canberras themselves, they had told where the Pakistani anti-aircraft systems were more active and where they could get a little bit of a shadow from these systems to safely go to the target, finish the mission and come back. The crew was given a little bit of time to mull over the information, to make their own plans, and after they were done with that, they were all asked to synchronize their watches on mark. One question which lingered in everybody's mind was how much fuel will they have left when they are coming in towards Chandigarh to land? And upon calculation, they realized that they would have about 10 minutes of fuel. So they had to come straight in. There were no go-around opportunities available. Again, just to remind you, this was the dead of the night with a war going on. The reason the bombing altitude was selected at about 4,000 feet because at that point of time, according to the intelligence, the kind of anti-aircraft guns that the Pakistanis had at that area could not fire beyond that altitude. Let's wait and watch and see whether that information was right. The crew got ready and got into their aircraft and took off as planned. 1 minute interval between each other. The first one to take off was the aircraft with the target indicator bombs. Now in those days, target indicator bombs were dropped by an aircraft of the raiding party just to indicate where exactly the target was. These were bright flares that were dropped by this particular aircraft. Now you can imagine the accuracy that the pilot and the navigator had to have of this target, because if they missed, the entire raid would have gone wrong. They took off 1 minute interval one after the other and headed towards the international border. They creeped below the enemy radar at 100 feet, took all the left turns and the right turns as decided, and when they came close to the airfield of Peshawar, they saw the anti-aircraft or the ACAC batteries open up on them, which gave them a clear signal that they had been spotted. The Pakistanis knew that they were getting attacked. They could literally see, because it was a moonlit night, Pakistanis running into their shelters, trying to take cover from this raid. One after the other, starting with the target indicator aircraft, they dropped their bombs right on target, destroying many an infrastructure on the ground. One thing that they had to do was, once they realized the anti-aircraft was starting to open up, they had a tough realization that these guys were able to fire till about 7,000 feet. They had to break radio silence and tell everybody to bomb from 8,000 feet. You can imagine they were taking last minute decisions to make sure everybody could bomb safely. The bullets used by these anti-aircraft batteries were as big as your hand. You can imagine the danger. If one of them hits any part of the aircraft, there will be a big gaping hole just made by the bullet itself, leave alone the explosive inside the bullet. After reconnaissance flights were taken post this raid, the Indian Air Force realized the areas that were bombed successfully were the air headquarters, the crew room, the bulk petroleum installation, and of course the runway. This was later on again confirmed by the US intelligence to the Indian Air Force. This raid resulted in huge losses in terms of trained crews and a huge amount of collateral damage, which of course put the Pakistanis at a state of shock. Now of course, while they were coming back, one incident again took place. A starfighter who was doing combat air patrol in the area got a hold of these guys on the radar and chased them down. He was after the 7th aircraft, who called out to his leader saying that I'm being chased by a starfighter, I'm going to take some evasive actions. The starfighter managed to lock on, or did not, that's something history will tell, but he did fire a missile which, because of the evasive action taken by the Canberra, harmlessly went across and exploded away from him. These guys all entered safely into the Indian territory, reached the area of Srinagar, took a ride, went down to Chandigarh and landed back one by one with enough fuel to spare, safely without a single damage to any aircraft. As I had mentioned before, the Americans and Pakistanis were in the same chair during those days against the USSR. The Americans were located around 20 miles away from Peshawar. This raid shook them up so much that they picked up their entire crews and their families and their entire establishment and moved them across the border to Iran. Pakistanis as well were in a state of shock to realize that no airfield of theirs is going to be away from the Indian Air Force and its attack aircraft, which were the Canberras, and not to mention the daring pilots who undertook this raid and many others. Now again, on the 16th of September, 3 days later, another raid was conducted by the Canberras on the airfield at Peshawar. They were caught napping again, and a lot of damage was done on the ground. There were some pilots who went on both the raids. One can only imagine what they would have felt going across enemy lines deep inside their territory, bombing and coming back successfully. These are stories which are not known by the common man. I am doing these videos to ensure that the message goes down to everyone. People should realize that this is not a chance. This Air Force and the armed forces of this country has been built on the efforts of the brave and gallant. I'd like us, once again, as I say in every one of my videos, to share a thought for us soldiers standing in the battle lines today, in the land, the sea and the air, once a day, every day. Do share my videos, subscribe to my channel, and Jai Hind.